To make the Mooncatcher, you will need one of these MDF moon hoops that I sell in my Vanircreations store, link down below. You need beads that I've got from eBay, thick thread that they use for leather on eBay, a glue gun, I got mine from the range, scissors, get yourself a good pair, you can get them from online as well, and my string that I also sell in my Vanircreations shop. So for the first part, all you're going to need is this, and for the second part, all you will need is the yarn, and I use white yarn as well. But just for this video, I'm just doing the base, and then I'll go and do the macrame next week. I will do the next part of this tutorial. So that's all you'll need for now. To start your Mooncatcher, you're going to need a wooden moon hoop shape that you can get from the Vanircreations shop, which I will link down below. You can do that in any size. They start from 16" and they go up to 27". And you'll also need some yarn or macrame string. I also sell this in our shop, and this will be linked down below as well. So what you first need to do to start your Mooncatcher is tie your string or yarn round the wooden base. And I just do just a simple knot. If you want to do 2 knots, you can do 2 knots, but I just do a simple knot and leave some extra string. I'll leave quite a lot actually, extra string at the end, because we're gonna glue that on afterwards. But for now, we're just gonna wrap this around, so just so you can see, I'll hold it up. You just wrap around like this. Make sure you're not leaving too much of a gap. Nice and flush. And take your time with it. You can watch a video or your favourite programme on TV while you're doing it. I do these at night time. Sat down, chilling, keeps me off my phone. When you get to about this stage, you need to make sure that you're checking your lines are quite flush. So when you're going around like this and you're wrapping it, the lines of the yarn need to be quite flush together, so you need to kind of like push them up at the bottom, if that makes sense. Because it's a circle, the outer will be slightly further apart than the inner part of the hoop. It'll still look fine no matter what, but it just makes it look a little bit more professional and nicer if you just push the bottom to that way, if that makes sense. So push the bottom as you're doing it. You can do a few wraps first and then just push it along. It's quicker that way. And I'll time lapse again. When you're coming towards the end of the wrapping part, it gets a lot easier. So you'll have noticed when you started it's not too bad. It gets harder towards the middle, and then towards the end you're just going for it. It's just so much quicker. Especially when you've done so many of them. So when you come to the end, keep wrapping, keep wrapping. Make sure you leave a bit of yarn macrame string. And then tie it just through the loop and pull. And there you have your base. I then go back and I just push any bits that look a bit gappy. You're not going to get it completely perfect unless you spend like 5 hours on it. So just make sure it looks nice and even. And there you go. So the next part we're going to glue on the ends and then we're going to go onto the web. So next you're going to want to glue on the ends. So you'll grab your glue gun and you'll need your scissors for this as well. You just glue one side and then wrap round. This bit can be a bit tricky, just take your time with it. Right onto the end. Just wipe that a bit with it. So make sure you take your time with it. And glue guns are also hot, so just be careful you don't burn yourself. As I have many times. And then wrap round. Whoop. And then what I do is I cut that off. Wait for it to kind of dry. It's not really drying, is it? It's just cooling down. Hot glue gun. And then when it's dry, I go back into it. Need another tube. I go back into it and then wrap them last little fibres around the end. For this part of the video you'll need your thick thread and you'll need beads and your scissors and the base that you've just done. So just as a normal dream catcher, you're going to tie it on, but you're going to tie it onto this part of the moon right at the tip. I always start at the bottom. You can start at the top if you want, but I start at the bottom. And I tie it on 4 or 5 times. Then what I do is I get a piece of cardboard and I cut it out to about 2 or 3 inches, and I use that to determine where I'm going to put the next segment of the web. So if you put that along, you'll find where you're going to loop your thread. So if you go round the moon and through the loop like that and then pull tight, and then use your cardboard again. Just determine the space so it's the same all the way around. It'll just look much nicer if you do that. You don't have to do that, but it's something that really works for me. Turn your space so you go round your mooncatcher and through the loop. This is just like a normal dream catcher. I do have a tutorial beginners DIY kit video that shows you how to do the dream catcher in much more detail. Just the dream catcher web, because it's the exact same thing. You're just going round and through, and then you pull tight. Round You see, so round, and then I'm going back through. When you get to this end, what you'll need to do then is you'll need to tie a knot several times. So 1, 2, 3, and then go back. So you're going through the loops now. So pull it out and through. Pull out your loop and through. Pull out your loop and through. Don't miss any. This is why it's also good when you are doing your Dreamcatcher, never pull it too tight. You don't want it to be stiff, but you don't want it to be loose. Just get that right balance. And then tie it on the back again. This time I'm going to do 4 or 5 ties because I'm going to cut it off and then I'm going to put beads on. So 4 or 5 knots at the end. Then grab your scissors and cut it off. Whoop. And cut it off. So I've cut the excess of the other one off there. And then cut. So you've gone one way, and then you've gone back once, and then now you're going to put some beads on. So I've just threaded my beads onto my thread. I've done 5 white and 5 grey. And I'm going to now tie it onto the Dreamcatcher. So tie it onto the tip here. 4 or 5 times. Nice and tight. Whoop. Don't get tangled. And then we're going to start weaving them through. So again, you're going through the loop like this. Through the loop. Through the loop. Pick it up. And through the loop. Pick it up and through the loop. And then just keep going. I'm going to sort the beads out afterwards. And then I'm going to spread out these beads a bit. So when they've spaced out, they go back. So it's the exact same concept as Dreamcatcher, but you're just going and stopping, tying it there, going back, tying it there, going back. If you can do a normal Dreamcatcher, there's no reason why you can't do this. To be honest with you, at first I found it really hard to do the moons, but I was making it more difficult than it actually is. It's not as difficult as you think. So if you've got some that are too tight, you can miss them ones. Sometimes I do. Because then it can just look a bit too congested towards the tip. So pull around and pull, and then we're going to go back. And then tie on again. And now I'm going to go up one more time and then put more beads on. So now I've done my beads, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 more lines of the web. And then I'm going to tie it on. And I'm going to put more beads on now. Now I've got my next set of beads, so I'm going to tie them on. So I'm going to tie it 3-4 times now. And again, I've not got my scissors. And cut. Whoop. And cut this as well. So now, just need to make sure that all your beads are in a nice place. Make sure, sometimes they can weigh down your web, so just move them around a bit. This is why I use wood beads as well with these, because if you use like glass beads, it can weigh down your web and it just doesn't look good. I think that's about right. And that's the end.